Hey everybody, it is Ed and Gigi and Scylla. Today's video, Bob Foley, Mr. Robert Foley, wanted me to thank everybody for who, I should say, so far has made an order for his book, Elvis in Minnesota. And so far, they are almost sold out, and again, wanted to show his appreciation for those of you who have made your orders and or purchases so far. However, there are still some remaining, so if you are still interested, the link will be in the description of this video to make an order if you would like to, and that's it. So what do we got? Well, I thought this video I would go a little bit deeper into how I met Mr. Bob Foley, and that occurred when my father and I had made our last trek to Graceland back in January of 2019 for the birthday. Okay, so my father and I went, and my father was on the lookout to meet Spa Guy, hoping that he would run into him, because my father would have liked to have talked to Spa Guy and hopefully get an interview in, to be on his channel, because my father really enjoys his channel, and that was that. So we actually were going through where were we? Wasn't it the hotel? No, yeah, actually, I think it was the new Graceland Hotel, the Guest at Graceland Hotel, across the street from the mansion, and a little bit down the road. And Spa Guy was actually doing an interview with somebody, and that somebody happened to be Mr. Robert Bob Foley. And Bob Foley, at the time when he was doing these interviews, was talking about Elvis Presley's scarves that Elvis had, given out throughout the years in concert, which, you could see some on my wall to the side there. And once Bob had, I had heard that he was, talking about scarves and everything, and I explained, the scarf collection that my mother and I had, obtained over the years and all that stuff. And so I can't tell stories, I'm sorry, but long story short, he was very interested, and I was interested in his knowledge. So, and my father, of course, being a longtime Elvis fan since being, 15 years old, or whatever, however old he was. No, I think he was younger than that. So he was probably like 12, 13 when he first heard Elvis. But anyway, again, I'm rambling. How many of you are still here? Thank you if you are. But Bob and I and my father have kept in touch since 2019. And actually, last year, I believe it was, my father had gone back to Graceland, and Bob and him had met up. And essentially, they spent, I think, a majority of the time there together. And they had a really, good time doing their things, and do the museum and just whatever. But yeah, apparently they had a really good time and everything. Hopefully that, we're going to get there again, and looking forward to that. So Bob had given me a lot of knowledge regarding the scarves that we have in our collection. Now, the ones that you can see on the wall there, the one furthest down is right there is the yellow one, which was my mother's very first scarf that she received from Elvis. And then the next night is the one next to that one, and then the one in the middle is from 1974. First two are from 73. Now, my mom had started seeing Elvis in 72. My mom and dad, I should say, back in 72, and then they went in Vegas in 72 in August. But at that time, she had never received any scarves from Elvis. So her first one she didn't receive until June 22nd, 1973 at Nassau Coliseum. And then was it June 22nd or June 21st? No, I can't remember. Anyway, it was the Friday night show of June, the first show, And then the Saturday night performance, she got the first scarf. But the Friday night show of the first performance, she received the very last scarf of the evening. And that's pretty much that. So when Bob had been sent pictures of these specific scarves that I do have, he, and gave him the stories behind them and when they were obtained and everything else, and the hemming and all that stuff. He's able to determine where they were made, when they were made, and things like that. So apparently I learned a lot of information from Bob regarding that. For example, the one of the last scarves, the 1975 red scarves from Nassau Coliseum. I forgot what he's. Oh, where were they made? Oh, but apparently they're not very common. They're not silk, but they're not the normal material either that were usually used to make the scarves. I forget, why can't I remember the name? It escapes me. Bob will probably leave it in the comments if he reads this or sees this. But anyway, there you have it. So again, Bob's book is really, really good. And if you would like, it is very limited edition. It's a very short print run. There are only 50 being printed. It will be signed and numbered by Robert Foley and then shipped out to you. And like I said, I will leave a description in the video. Not in the video. What am I saying? I'm going to leave a link or Bob's email so that you can email him if you would like to order the book. All right. That's it. All right. If you would like, leave me a comment. I do appreciate you watching. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. God bless us all. Take care.